Welcome to this video, where we'll look at how to use data validation in Excel. Data validation helps you control what people can type into a cell. It's a great way to prevent mistakes, make forms easier to complete, and keep your spreadsheets clean and consistent. In this tutorial, we'll look at the most common types of data validation, how to set them up, and how to add helpful messages that guide people as they enter information. Data validation is a tool in Excel that restricts the type of data allowed in a cell. For example, you can limit entries to whole numbers, dates, or values from a drop-down list. When someone tries to enter something that doesn't meet the rules you've set, Excel warns them and stops the entry. Let's start with one of the most popular features, creating a drop-down list. To create a list, first decide where the list of allowed values will come from. This can be a small list you type directly into the settings, or it can be a list of values already stored somewhere in your spreadsheet. Once you've selected the cell or range where you want the drop-down to appear, open the Data Validation menu. In the settings, choose List as the validation type. This tells Excel that the only allowed entry should come from a list of items. At this point, you have two choices. You can type the items directly into the box, separated by commas, or you can point Excel to a range of cells that already contains the list. Referencing a range is usually the better option, especially when the list might change later. If your list of allowed values is on another sheet, that's absolutely fine. With the source box active, simply click into the sheet that contains your list. Then highlight the cells that make up the list. Excel will automatically build the reference for you, including the sheet name and the full cell range. You don't need to type anything manually. Once the range is selected, return to the Data Validation window and confirm the settings. As soon as you click OK, the drop-down arrow appears in your selected cell or range, and the only options people can choose are the items from that list you pointed to. If you ever change the values in that list on the other sheet, the drop-down will update automatically. You can also use data validation to control number entry. For example, you might want to allow only whole numbers, or only numbers within a specific range. Choose whole number or decimal as the validation type, then set your conditions. You can require values to be greater than, less than, between, or equal to certain numbers. This is useful for things like quantity fields, ID numbers, or any calculation that depends on valid numeric input. Data validation also helps ensure that dates and times are entered correctly. You can restrict dates to a particular range, such as dates in the future, dates from the last 30 days, or dates that match a specific schedule. Choose date or time, set the condition, and enter the allowed boundaries. Excel will block anything outside those limits. Data validation can also show helpful messages when someone clicks on a cell. An input message appears automatically and helps guide the person entering data. This is a great way to explain what kind of information belongs in the cell, or remind people of rules that aren't obvious. If someone tries to enter something invalid, Excel displays an error alert. You can customize this message so it's clear and helpful. For example, instead of a generic warning, you can explain exactly why the entry was rejected and how to correct it. This helps prevent confusion and makes data entry more reliable. If you ever need to remove validation from a cell, you can go back to the Data Validation menu and choose the option to clear the settings. You can remove validation from a single cell or an entire range. Data validation is one of the most effective ways to improve accuracy and consistency in your spreadsheets. Whether you're building forms, collecting information, or managing data that other people contribute to, these tools can help keep everything clean and reliable. Thanks for watching.